Hey, would you like to increase sales? Generate more revenue? I sound just like a commercial, a TV commercial, radio. Don't I sound like a commercial? Anyway, that's not the point. But I am asking the question. Would you like to do that? And there are really 5 things that you can do. But I want to talk about these 5 things kind of from a perspective of how well are you doing them right now. This is basic stuff. This is business 101, but I want to talk about each one of these, and I want you to rate yourself on how you're doing in each one of these areas, and can you do better? And then I'll finish up by showing you something interesting about if you can do better, how it will impact your results. So I've got 5, count them 5. Profit multipliers, and let's see how you rate in each one of them. Profit multiplier number 1 is lead generation. Well, okay, yeah, we know that, right? Because the purpose of business, as we all know, is to create new customers and then keep them for a long time. So what do we have to do first? Well, we have to create customers. How do we create customers? Well, we have to go out and find people who might be interested in buying our products. And what does that mean? It means that we have to go out and generate new leads, right? And when we're talking about generating new leads, are you really generating leads as well as you possibly can? And what does that mean? Well, number 1, it means that you've got to know. Let me get this thing turned on here, right? Let's get that turned on. Do that. You've got to know who your moose are, right? We've talked about that many times. You've got to know who your target market is, all right? But then you've got to go out and you have to be able to communicate with them by offering some kind of bait that is going to make them want to talk to you and eventually become customers with you. So there are 3 things that have to fall in there. Number 1 is that you have to practice what is known as direct response. Direct response marketing. Now, direct response marketing means that your marketing is designed to bring a very specific response. It's designed to reach out, get the moose to self-identify themselves, and then you actually have a call to action. A very specific call to action of click here to contact us now, or click here to get this lead magnet now, or something like that. Stop practicing awareness advertising. All right, awareness advertising, I'm going to tell you, awareness advertising just simply means you don't know how to be a marketer. Marketers are looking for response. Advertisers are looking for eyeballs. And eyeballs, I've never been able to cash a check on eyeballs. So the first thing is that you want to practice direct response marketing. And if you aren't doing that, then you need to learn how to do that, which means that number 2 is that as a result of your lead generation, you are able to capture those leads, right? You're able to get them to say to you, here's my name, here's my email at the very minimum, and yes, I want to hear some more from you. But while you're doing that, you want to make sure that the quality of those leads is very, very good. So number 1 in the profit multiplier is lead generation. And the more you can do to increase quality leads and get them to respond to you, the more of those that you can get, guess what? The more sales you're going to ultimately get. And why is that? Because number 2 is lead conversion. Now, think about it this way. I often ask a question of businesses, and I'll say, hey, if I were to hand you 10 high-quality leads, how many would turn into customers for you after that? I mean, after I hand you those leads. And you know what? Most companies can't answer that question because they don't know what their closing rate is. They don't know what their conversion rate is. And this is really, really important to know. I mean, let's think about it this way. Let's say that your conversion rate is 10%. So that, in other words, I hand you 10 moose, right? prospects who fit the profile of our target market, and they have also now raised their hand and said they are interested in talking to us. And so I hand you 10 of those, and out of those 10, one becomes a customer. And let's say that one is equal to, I don't know, lifetime value, and this is another discussion. We'll just say $10,000. Okay, so how do you double that $10,000? Well, you close 20% of your sales, right? You could say, let's go out and get more leads, and that's right. That goes back to the lead generation. You can do that. And so instead of getting 10 leads, you get 20 leads, and that's true. But at the same time, what if you were able to close 20% of your sales, because that now doubles your sales right there. And this is where this is also where it's really important for you to start to practice being uncopyable, which I teach in a big way, right? Because the lead conversion, this is where the leads are trying to figure out why they should do business with you, and that's where this is. So this is where uncopyable falls in. But lead conversion is another area where you can maximize, you can multiply your profits by getting better at it. All right. Number 3 is the non-buyer follow-up. Now now think about it, right? So like I said, if you close 10% of your leads, that means you've got 90%, who are non-buyers, right? Non-buyers. Well, eventually they could still become buyers, right? Down the road, they could become buyers. Now, here's something interesting that I found on the internet. It's always fun what you can find on the internet. And a company called Money. I just blanked on the name. Oh well, Money Robot or something like that. These are statistics that are not new to us. But let me put my glasses on, my cheaters here, to find these. It says here, the average number of follow-ups that it takes to close a sale is 5. I actually think it's probably higher, but let's just go with what they said there. The average number of contacts, follow-ups with somebody that it takes to close a sale is 5. But 44% of salespeople stop following up after the first one. 22% after 2, 14% after 3, and 12% after 4. So basically, it's saying that they're saying, and I think, and I've seen this statistic many times, that 8% follow up 5 times to get the sale. So if it's taking that many times, don't quit. Keep going. Keep chasing them down and keep working on them. Don't quit too soon. Don't let your salespeople quit too soon. Number 4 is repeat business. Well, hello, we all know that. You need to take care of your customers to get them to want to buy from you again. But I want to stress something to you. All right, that just because you give them good service does not mean that they are going to be repeat buyers. Because as I pointed out in a video a couple of weeks ago, that there's a big difference between service and experience. And if you have not seen that, I will put the link in below in the notes to go watch that again, or go watch it, because there's a huge difference between service and experience. And just because you did what you said you were going to do, that does not mean that they are automatically going to be repeat buyers, because their expectations may not have been that high. It may not have been that hard to fulfill the order, and so when they go back out to start looking to place more orders, you might be in the list because they've done business with you. But if you didn't do anything that was extraordinary or over the top or something that make them feel really, really great about doing business with you, just because you satisfied them does not mean that they're going to do business with you again. And finally, number 5, referrals. we all love referrals, and everybody tells me how they really have a lot of referrals, a high percentage of business. In fact, according to studies I've seen, 49% of B2B businesses, which is most of you out there, 49% of our business comes from referrals, and yet less than 26% of us have a proactive campaign to go out and get referrals. I think that's silly. And this matches very closely with the statistic that it's like 29% of customers give referrals. Now, what does that mean? Well, number one, it just simply means that they have not been given a reason to give a referral. I mean, most people would be happy to give a referral, but either it's uncomfortable, it's not easy to give a referral, we don't really, it's not on their mind at the time or something like that. The bottom line is that vast majority of companies do not have a proactive, aggressive referral strategy. So what are we talking about here? So we're talking about lead generation, lead gen, right? We're talking about lead conversion. Talk about non-buyers. We're talking about repeat. Oops. I'm writing fast, obviously. And we're talking about referral. Now, I want you to think about this, all right? Ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 7, how do you rate on all of these, okay? How do you rate on each one of these on a scale of 1 to 7? And ask yourself, how much money would it be worth to you if you gave yourself a 5 on lead generation? How much would it be worth to you if you became a 6? If you rated yourself a 3 on referrals, a 2 or a 3 on referrals, how much would it be worth to you if you were able to push yourself up to 5 or 6? Right? See, if you were able to increase and improve your numbers on more than one of these, now you're talking about a multiplier effect, right? Profit multipliers. That's what this is all about. So how do you rate yourself on each one of these? How would you like to be? And then go learn how to do it. I mean, I'm going to be doing a series on lead generation. I'm going to be doing talking about lead conversion. You can go get I'm right below. I'm going to put a link on for my my breakthrough referral program right now for you to go get that. And also watch for my new Uncopyable Business program online on how you can actually grow your business even further by being uncopyable. So that's this week's Uncopyable Business video. This is Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad and marketing gunslinger. Thanks again for watching me this week. Appreciate it very much, and I'll see you again next week on same bat time, same bat channel. See ya.